Okay, quick question. Think about the best woman on your team, the one who always delivers. Now, think about whether she's stopped raising her hand lately, taken a few extra PTO days, gone a little quiet. Yeah, today we're talking about what is actually happening underneath that silence. Hello, peeps. Welcome back to Workday Playdate with Improve It. I'm Erin, and this is the podcast where we talk about work, leadership, and culture in ways that actually help. Now, as every podcast host says, if you love this show, please leave us a 5-star review. It takes 30 seconds, and it makes us so unreasonably happy. So, my peeps, I need to tell you something. Over the past month, I ran a little experiment in our weekly newsletter. And if you're not getting this newsletter, it is called Fail Forward Fridays. We featured a woman named Tiffany Sauder and her platform called Life of And I watched what happened live every single week. Her link was one of the top performers in the Send, and not because it was placed prominently, because something about what she was saying made you stop scrolling and click. And the week that outperformed everything, the one about the woman on your team who goes quiet, stops raising her hand, takes a few extra PTO days, and then one day shows up in your office and says she's leaving. And you knew exactly who she was talking about. So did I. Now, Pew Research just dropped new data on working parents. 74% of working moms say that they do not have enough time for their own interests. Speaking for a friend, I feel that one. 56% say being a parent has made it harder to advance in their career. And Tiffany's take on what that data is missing is the conversation we're about to have. So, Tiffany Sauder is the founder of Life of And, a platform and corporate program built for ambitious women who are navigating career and family at the same time. She is a CEO, an entrepreneur, a mom of 4, podcast host, and keynote speaker. Now, she took over Element 3, a full-service marketing consultancy in 2006, and transformed it into one of the fastest-growing firms in the Midwest, landing on the Inc. 5,000 6 consecutive times. 6 times. She has reached thousands of women through her podcast, her program, and her speaking work. She talks openly about the messy, beautiful, exhausting, exhilarating reality of wanting a big career and a full life and refusing to pick just one. She's brilliant. She's honest. She's my friend. And she's about to reframe some things here for you today. Tiffany, welcome to Workday Playdate, friend.
Thank you, Erin. I'm excited to have some fun together.
Actually, I'm going to say welcome back. Welcome back. Because you and I met over our podcasting airwaves. Did you realize that?
I know we were kind of a cold date the first time, but now we're warmed up.
I feel warm and cozy with you. Okay. Well, let's set an intention. We always love to set an intention at the top of the show. What is one word that you either want to give or receive today?
Abundance.
Ooh, okay. Tell me why.
It is both a word that I work, I don't know, daily is maybe extreme, but daily to believe that that there is enough for everyone. And I mean like enough time, enough opportunity, enough resources, enough love, enough patience. And when you practice believing that, you have a much greater chance of creating that.
That's right. That is so true. And that's what your Life of And is all about, abundance. And you can have this and. So we're going to talk about that because I got to sit in on a session today and y'all, this thing is real. Like, you were so legit. It was so beautiful. The setup was so gorgeous. We'll talk about it in just a minute. But before we do that, let's set the scene. You know, in improv, we love to set a location. Where are we having this play date? Give me a location. Where are we?
Well, I'm actually going to do it in real life because that is where it's where I'm asked to navigate. And I think, so I will set the stage, but the reason I'm setting it there is I think this moment in time when we were little girls laying in bed dreaming of our futures. I've got a high school senior. She lays in bed thinking about her future. And if I would have set the scene for you then, I think it would look a lot like my life looks today. And so I'm 46. I'm a mom of 4 girls. My husband and I just celebrated 21 years. We live in the burbs. I have great friends. I have a heart of abundance. It's raining like crazy outside.
Same.
My hair is frizzy because I just took a kid, to a PT appointment for a sports injury. My car is on empty and my fridge is full.
Oh,
so that's my scene.
I love this scene. Okay. And that was a beautiful picture. Every time I talk to you, I feel like last time you and I chatted on the show, there was like a brake situation with the car. There was something with
probably.
The car. There was something. And you and I, because we both have husbands who travel a lot. I only have one.
Yeah.
I have one son, but there's just so many similarities. And I got to tell you, Tiff, this is crazy. And I'm just going to say it out loud on the show. I'm looking at you right now and I see this you look like my childhood best friend, which is so crazy. I just never saw that before. And I was like, oh my God, it's Susan. Okay. So anyway, it's just so fun. And then, you've got your high schooler dreaming up her life. And it's so cool that you would have envisioned this life for yourself. And you're so true. You're always authentic. You're always saying it's beautiful and it's messy. My car doesn't have gas, but there's food. There's abundance of food in the fridge.
Mm-hmm.
There's the life of and. So, okay, I want to just start with the data point that you also, so I got to sit in on a Life of And program today, which was so cool. The setup alone is beautiful, but then just Tiffany's teaching is so tangible, so straight to the point, but also makes you think. And you gave this data inside of the Life of And program, which I really liked. 74% of working moms don't have time for their own interests. 56% say parenthood has made it harder for them to advance. And I just want to talk about this because when you saw those numbers, what was your gut reaction? Because literally mine was like, let me just stare at this wall here for 10 minutes and think about a friend who might be a statistic. Oh, that friend is me.
Yeah. And I think that is our starting point where we look at it and say, yeah, that feels right. That feels right. That feels right that I don't have time for things I love. That feels right that it feels hard to chase my dreams. It feels right that I don't have time for friends. It feels right that feels right. And then we just sort of leave it there. We resign ourselves to the fact that that feels right. But I think what we're seeing is the impact of not having time for friends, not having time for ourselves, not having time for our spouses, not feeling confident in the way that we're chasing our careers, that we don't have confidence in those, that it's creating women who are struggling with their confidence, and that we're creating women that are struggling with feeling like they have energy for the things they chose.
Yeah.
We chose these jobs. We chose these spouses. We chose these kids. We chose these things. And culturally, we're beginning to see them. They become almost like these burdens versus saying, how do I get the toolbox to level up so that I can sustainably chase, sustainably pursue each of these areas of my life? And this work has come from my own crash. We come from this place of, I always say preparation and lipstick was what my strategy was for a long time. Your girl would just get up a little bit earlier. Your girl would just move a little faster. Your girl would just have a little less sleep. And until you get to the place where that doesn't work anymore.
Yeah.
And I started to look at I've been taught how to scale my sales organization. I've been taught how to scale my company. I've been taught how to scale my capacity at work. I've been taught how to scale my leadership. I have been taught how to scale so many areas of my life. Why is no one teaching me how to scale this intersection of my career and my personal life? And so that really is what the toolbox of Life of And is about, is I had to figure out how to scale all of my life, my personal life, my family life, and my career. And this toolbox hits each one of those. So when I look at these stats, I say, yeah, it's quantitatively affirming what it is that we feel to be true in ourselves and among our friends. And I think the question I'm asking is, are we going to be okay with that?
Oh my God. I love that you're asking that question. And when I hear you talk about it, I'm like, no, we are not. Like the answer is no, but we put ourselves in the box, right? Like of these paradigms of if I'm a working mom, I can't have much of a social life, or I can't have joy. Or if I'm a stay-at-home mom, I can't have fulfillment in something that brings me passion. My passion is my family. Like I feel like as women, we box ourselves in, and you're saying like you can have all the boxes and more is what you're saying.
Well, what I'm saying is you can have the ones you want. And I remember bawling to my coach and saying to him, I don't know how.
Yeah.
It's not that I'm not trying. I'm trying so hard. It's not that I'm asleep at the wheel. It's not that I don't wake up in the morning. It's not that I forgot. And I don't know how. I have no more capacity. And I was just breaking inside. And he said, you're getting somewhere if you say, I don't know how.
Yeah.
But we often start with, I can't start a hobby. I can't start a hobby. I don't have time for that.
Right.
Is a different thing to say than I will start a hobby. I just don't know how.
That's so beautiful. And
that makes it like it opens you up to say, well, how would I if I had to? Because think about how many things come into your life that you have to figure out.
Yeah.
It's usually stuff that's tragic. You have to figure out how to deal with a kid who is in an accident. You have to figure out how to deal with an aging parent. You have to figure out with a spouse who have cancer. You have to figure out your own health when it gets out of control. When we have to figure it out, we do. But that's too often it takes a negative impetus for us to say, all right, well, I got to figure this out. I got to say no to this because I had to say yes to this. Well, what if we did that intentionally? What if we had the discipline to proactively craft, not when we were in a time of turmoil, but when we were saying, I'm just building intentionally. That's what I do as a matter of practice.
Oh my God, I love it. Because every major breakthrough I've had in my life has always been because of the crash. And what you're saying is it's the proactive versus the reactive. Example, I'm in therapy. Okay. When I first started therapy, it was reactive. Like it was super, super, super reactive. I've been in it for the past 3 years. And sometimes I'm like, I don't even know what we're going to talk about today. So I've scaled back a little bit, but it's a proactive approach versus, oh my God, I'm so far in now. I need you to help dig me out of this hole. And I think the way that you're working with women so intentionally is so beautiful, Tiffany, because I know some women out there have stopped dreaming. I have friends who have stopped dreaming. They're like, I can't do it in this season of my life. And that's like a gut punch. When I hear that, I want to like take them by the shoulders and be like, no, it's this one chance. What do you think when you hear that?
Well, I think I totally agree women have stopped dreaming. I think there's two ways that we can approach that. One is sometimes it isn't the season. So I teach what I call the not now list. I have things on my not now list. I'm a dreamer.
Like
I'm an entrepreneur.
Example.
Oh, well, I have this business idea. I hate spirit wear.
Oh.
Like
spirit,
like off the rack spirit wear, like the dry fit business that the school sends me to buy for every season and every team. I just think it's ugly. I don't think any woman should wear it. I just think it's fit terrible. No, I mean, unless you work out full time for a living, most of us who are pedestrians shouldn't wear this stuff. I think it's ugly. Dry fit smells. I don't like it.
I really
So
like that you said pedestrians. Let me just hold on.
I'm a pedestrian. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I make these very cool jackets. They're
Oh,
kind of like varsity jacket kind of vibe for
okay.
myself to wear in the stands because I want to cheer my kids on. We are really getting a tangent. I want to have school spirit. I want to cheer my kids on, but honestly, I just am too vain for what they send me to wear.
Good for you.
And so I want to start this business where I make spirit wear you want to wear. That's the name of it.
Yes. I would wear it. I like your style.
I know, but it's not my season right now. My youngest just went to school, and so I'm getting closer potentially. But this is an example. I've had this idea in my heart for a long time. It's on my not now list. We just did a remodel. Like I had some big projects that were underway that I needed to get through. And once I get through some of those, then I can look at my not now list and say, hey, I have some capacity now that we're moved into our house. I've got some things I could shift around. Maybe I'll say no to something else to make some room for this new idea I have. But it's not eternally additive. And that is the point. We as women look at our time as eternally additive. We do not measure the size of our yes. And when I say measure the size of your yes, I mean literally count the minutes, the accessory minutes it takes to come in and out of the activity. So if you're going to go on a 20-minute walk, you do not unless you wake up and put tennis shoes on. You've got to put your sneakers on. You got to find them. Probably need a little drink of water. Open the door. Walk out. That's probably 3.5 minutes. You know, those minutes matter. When you get back, you might be a little sweaty. Change your shirt for your call. It takes 5 to 6 minutes. So it's really a 32-minute activity to take a 20-minute walk, which is no big deal. But if you always only allow 20 minutes for it and it takes 32 minutes, then you're behind by 12 minutes. And you've got 8 things in a day that happens to, which is another 2 hours that goes by, and then you don't get through your list. Yeah. So it seems so incredibly simple, but literally just count the size of your yes. Because every yes is a no to something else. And so are you stacking it somewhere? Every yes is a no to something else. And so we're not thoughtful about what gets our yes. We're not thoughtful about what gets our no. We believe life is eternally additive and that we're just going to keep going. And we are exhausted, and we are angry, and we are resentful at the people and things that we said that we wanted to love. And the thing we don't want to hear is that it's our fault.
Oh my God. Hold on. Let me get out the violin from my tiny little choir and orchestra back here who's like, that you were playing for us, sister. This is wild, because I can literally count with this hand how many women I'm going to send this episode to who need to hear this, because we look everywhere else.
But what's the powerful part, Erin, about it being our fault?
That we have control to change it. Yes,
exactly.
It's like, it's truly an internal job. It's nobody else's.
No.
Tiffa!
Well, the other thing that I believe happens, especially, I'm 46 years old. I shared that. I've got 4 kids. My husband has a big job. We have a lot going on. And being needed can become our identity.
Yeah.
And we have to make sure that stimulus of somebody saying, mom, that stimulus of the school saying, I need you, that stimulus of the club being like, but you'd be perfect for it, that stimulus of your kids saying, your husband needing, your job needing, that stimulus can become our identity. Yeah. It makes us chemically feel important. And until we understand, until I'm whole, until I'm doing the things I need for me as a person to be healthy, like therapy and exercise and time outside and just decompressing your nervous system.
Yes.
And we give our power away to these external things that need and want us because it makes us feel fulfilled artificially.
Yes.
And then we chase after more and more and more of it. And I don't say this in a way that is judgmental. I say this in a way that is like, honey, I've been there. I lived that story. I burnt myself out on that story. I extended my relationships on that story. I pushed my kids on that story. Like I did all of that. And it is an unsustainable place to be. And we give our power away in really big ways.
Can I ask you this question? What do you think it's going to take for, because, we call our community the peeps, for a peep listening to change? What caused you to change, and what do you think it will take for somebody to really take harness and take control of their life?
Well, I think that sometimes it does take a crash to get our attention.
Yeah.
I think sometimes it takes a change season to get our attention. So I see oftentimes young women tuning in where it's like, I'm getting married. I already feel really busy. I can't imagine having a husband. Or I'm having my first child and I'm freaking out because I'm working all the time. So sometimes there's a change stimulus that says, I know I'm going into a new season. I need to rebuild this.
Yeah.
But I think one of the things that is one of the conversations that is missing in one-on-ones in the HR toolkit is to literally give women the tools to actually solve for what they want. Let me give you an example. I'm an investor in several different companies, and so I work closely with the leaders that run those businesses. And I was talking with one of the young women that run one of the businesses I'm heavily invested in, and she has a daughter that has some needs some special accommodations. And my CEO came to me with a lot of verbal, like, I'm starting, I'm not sure this is going to fit. And I feel like I need a little bit of space. And I was like, what's really going on? Like, what's going on? Cause she was spiraling a bit in the demands of the job and the growth we were looking at. And I could tell she was like a combination of inspired by it and really feeling stuck by it. And so I said, can we talk, like, what's going on? And I got to the place where she was like, my daughter, who needs some more support, needs me home more right now.
Yeah.
She's not doing well in school. She's not making friends easily. And I need to support her in a different way. And I said, well, why don't we solve for that together?
Oh my, Tiffany, why am I like tearing up? This is like a beautiful freaking story, dude.
But I said, because what do you need?
Yeah.
And she's like, I don't know. And she just started crying because when you're in it, you just need to quit.
Yeah.
I just need to quit. I just need to quit. I just want to be with my daughter. I need to quit. I said, I know how that feels, but what do you need? And so we really started talking about, what do you need? And she said, I think 3 days a week, I need to be able to be off the computer by 3:00. And I said, okay, well, what time are you off today? So we talked, I said, okay, so we've got 7 hours a week of work that we've got to figure out that you're doing, that we either automate, we outsource, we put to somebody else. We figure that, like, we've got to find a task that takes this much time and we got to move it. Are we moving a department off of you? Are we going to outsource a fractional leader for HR? Like, what are we going to do? Because I need to micro solve this with you. And then I also said, what are you outsourcing in your house? What do you mean? I said, are you doing laundry?
Oh God, get into the hacks that you go.
Yeah.
Tell them on the hack.
Do you do your own laundry? She's like, yes. I said, is it a mess in the house? She's like, yes. I said, are you always behind? She said, yes. I said, okay, well, for $50 a week, you can get rid of that task and it's 6 to 8 hours a week back. And she's a CEO of a small company. She's not making $1 million a year. This is financially accessible to a lot of people. I literally helped her start to count, how do we put minutes back towards the thing that is most important to you? Because your daughter needs you.
That's right.
And you need to be able to tell me that. And I need to be able to help you solve for that. And I think that we're in this world, and every HR person or L&D person understands, we are no longer in a world where work and life are separate.
Totally.
We're not there anymore.
Nope.
The illusion of that went away in 2020 when our jobs came home and all this kind of stuff. And practices start at 4:00 and travel sports and all this kind of stuff. They are integrated.
Yeah.
And we have to be able to talk to the whole person, not just as it relates to their mental health and their psychology, but literally the toolbox to scale their lives in the same way that we teach them the toolbox to lead people at work. And so that is my passion, is to say, when you get a raise because you're leading people and now you make $15,000 more, I want you to think about taking $2,500 of that and giving yourself time back, because this job is going to take more capacity from you.
Totally.
And we have to teach them to think like that, where your time is as much a unit of economy as your money is. And we don't talk about it that way.
Oh my God. I have a friend, my husband, who feels like, okay, so similar. He's a man. Okay. But we're going to just talk about this in the mindset. Like, when you're in it, sometimes you just can't see the forest through the trees. I'm like, get somebody to cut the grass. You travel 3 weeks a month.
Mm-hmm.
He will not let anybody cut our grass but him. But you know how it takes 2 hours on a Sunday for him to do that when he could be with our son? That type of mindset, I think so many successful high achieving people like to keep some of those tasks and those hacks that you so graciously give out to themselves because they're like, no, I'm capable. I can do it. But I think the mindset shift that you're trying to get us to think through is you are now making more money. It's now time for you to invest in your time differently.
I actually will say it's still up to you, but what's the cost of the yes? So the cost of the yes for your husband to mow the lawn is that he's not with your son for 2 hours on Saturday. And he may say, that's fine. It's cathartic for me to do something physical. I don't mind that it gets overgrown sometimes. Like he might say, this is a perfectly fine decision for me. What I don't want you get to the place of is where you're resentful about the choice you're making. Own it. Yes, I know. Choosing to move the lawn means sometimes it's going to be overgrown. Yes, I know. Choosing to do the lawn means that sometimes you guys are going to go do something without me when I'm home. Yes, then choose it. But you're a grown up. So let's stop complaining about choices that we made for ourselves because that's the racket that we get into. And I think especially as women, we complain to one another. We encourage one another in our complaining because you're doing it and I'm doing it. Complaining. And so we're normalized in our reaction to life by saying, oh, we must be doing it right. And I think there's a different choice.
Oh, Tiffany. Okay. I kind of just want to hug you right now. And I will remember some of our other conversations. You give out so graciously hacks that you give out in your Life of Ann program, which is such a fantastic program. What would you say? The laundry service is always one that sticks out to me. If you're talking to a woman right now who is running a company, running a team, running an HR team, is mid-level in their career, so they have a great salary, what is the one thing, the one hack you would tell them has changed your life, could change theirs?
Yeah, I think the three sort of, I sort of say the holy trinity of outsourcing is grocery delivery, which is very accessible, getting your house cleaned and getting your laundry done. Those are ubiquitous in every city it's like, no, you're not uniquely qualified to fold your underwear. I promise. My goal is to normalize that, like with getting your house cleaned. So those three things. Laundry gave me so much time back. These people are professionals. It's folded so beautifully. You're like, drawers will be Marie Kondoed and it's just incredible.
Love.
I think if you want to take the next step, and again, Life of Ann is not about me saying everybody spend your money on outsourcing. It is about saying, understand if you need to be able to take 10,000 steps a day, then you're going to need an hour and 45 minutes from somewhere. Because that's how long that takes to do that. So understand what you want to do and get rid of the rest. I have become an expert. Getting rid of the rest is like a full-time sport for me because there's so many things I want to do. I want to build businesses. I want to invest in women. I want to be able to give of myself to my family and my community and my jobs freely so that when I'm home, I'm eating good food, I'm living in a clean house, things are organized. That's important to me. And as I've worked, I have built the infrastructure for that stuff to be more sophisticated alongside me. A part-time house manager is also a game changer. $35 to $50 an hour generally. So again, this is not like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air that you have to be. For a couple $100 a week, you can have somebody come in for a half day or a full day. And food prep, just pick and put, take seasonal decorations down, wrap presents, do returns, all the stuff, meet people who have to like come fix stuff at your house, get your carpet cleaned, all of the things that just sort of that micro solving that we talk about, that invisible load, handing some of that to them. I've had one for about 4 years. She comes 8 hours a week. And I think it allows us to eat about 95% of our meals at home.
Wow.
And so I think it's a cost neutral decision for us because we don't eat out that much. And it's it changes significantly the way we can be together as a family because we're not spending the time going out to restaurants and stuff. So those are part of my reasons for doing that.
I love it. And also, I've known you now. I've known you for like probably 3 years. I think we met in 2023.
That's crazy.
And I've been following you. And I will say a couple of things. So first of all, everybody, you need to follow Tiff on Instagram and then on LinkedIn. Okay. But my favorite is watching your stories because I'm like such a nerd with these hacks. Like you're like my house manager. You just like showed a picture of all of your veggies like being chopped and like how beautiful everything looked organized on your calendar and or on your countertop. And you were like,
Yeah.
this took her 2 hours and now I have fresh veggies and XYZ for my family of 4. And you also have like systems in place in your kitchen for your kids helping with the
Yep.
dishwasher. And you are so systemized and hacky, and I like eat it up. I love it so much. So you have to follow Tiffany on Instagram specifically for the stories. Okay. And then also LinkedIn. What is your new series? Because you talked about it.
Yes, Dear Working Mom.
Yeah.
It's a weekly letter to really myself that I just share. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, tell them why they should read it because I love it.
Well, Dear Working Mom, it really is it's a letter that I write. And it has one lesson in it. And so, the one I'm working on this week, it hasn't published yet. The lesson is don't apologize for your decisions because we teach our children to do that when we do. And so it's just things that life has taught me. And kind of these little proverbs in my pocket. I don't mean that in a sacrilegious way, but just like these things I know to be true when I'm going to be gone for a night this week. My 6-year-old is less than excited about that. And I have a choice to be apologetic about that or to be confident in that with her.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a trained reaction of like, honey, I know you're going to miss me. You're going to have so much fun and I'll be excited to see you when I come home.
Yeah.
Versus I'm so sorry I have to be away. I know you're going to miss me. And it's like, I chose it. I'm 46 years old. I'm a grown up. I chose to be away. I know that's going to impact her and she's going to be a little sad and she'll be fine. And that can all be true. And so I think our vocabulary really informs the way we see things. And so just being really thoughtful about the words we say. So that's one example of just a lesson. Some of it's lessons other women have taught me, things I've observed. And it's been fun. It's been very reflective and fun. So
well, obviously I'm a working mom and like I nerd out on your stuff. Like I love the hacks. Like the hacks are like candy to me. Every time you get like I'll never forget I listened to so Tiffany's podcast is called The Life of Ann podcast. It used to be called Scared Confident, which is I loved both titles, which I want to talk about why that shift happened. Probably just because we came into the life of Ann fully and completely.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll never forget an episode I listened to. I still think you were like, I've lost like 15 pounds in 3 years by doing this. And you're like, I have something and I just eat 3 bites. And it's like, and you're like, if you want French fries, I'm going to have 3 fries. And I was like, what a genius idea. Because I love fries. I'm not going to give up fries. My friend just dropped off a gluten-free cookie for me. I'm going to eat more than 3 bites tonight.
Yeah, but totally. I think one of the therapists I have on my show, she says no magnetizes things. And that is so true of my personality. I mean, if you go back to teenage Tiffany or 46-year-old Tiffany, no magnetizes things for me. So if I'm like, I'm not going to eat gluten, I'm not going to eat sweets. It's literally all I think about is eating those things. And so these systems are actually because I'm not that disciplined and I have very low impulse control. It's not actually because I'm wired to be, it is that those things are just true. I have a hard time remembering what it is that I want to do. And I'm very easily distracted. And so when I have these rhythms that just happen automatically at this time of day, then I don't screw my future self, who really wants to do cool things in life.
Oh my God. And I'm so glad we got here because I have wondered, like, how did we get here? So this is answering a question I was going to ask as a follow-up. So keep going.
Yeah. I mean, I've got 4 kids. They're ages 17 to 6. We're in so many different seasons. We have 1,000 different toys. I don't like visual clutter. I don't like things to be noisy, and so it's like, I just had to put systems in place to keep myself sane so that we can keep moving forward. So I don't know if that makes sense.
It makes so much sense. Wait, Tiffany, full Life of Ann moment. I have a crying. Hold on. What's wrong, buddy? Oh, Okay, come here.
Come in for sure, buddy.
Okay, come in. This is Miss Tiffany.
Oh,
Okay.
buddy, he needs his mom right now.
Okay. See, okay. And we're parenting alone right now. Solo parenting. Dad's on a trip. Can you say hi?
You don't have to, buddy. I'm so sorry. Did you have a good first day of school?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Miss
Were
Tiffany.
any of your friends in your class? Oh, that's such good news.
How many friends? Like 4?
We don't know.
Okay.
So many.
Oh, sorry, Miss. Well, see, I'm not going to apologize. That was me
No.
apologizing. You
No
know,
apology.
it's okay because this is the life of Ann. Well, guess what? Miss Tiffany has 4 little girls. She has a little girl who's 6, and she just kindergarten.
Yeah. Kindergarten. Yeah. She didn't like it so much. She'd rather hang out at home.
Would you rather go to school or hang out at home? Hang out at home. Okay.
Yeah. I don't blame you. It's probably pretty fun there.
It's pretty fun. It's pretty hot here. Okay. I think you're going to be okay. I'll come give you a big smooch. And I'll come give you this. You want to sit right here? And
You can finish with you, Erin. It doesn't bother me.
Okay. You want to sit right here?
Yeah, just sit on
sit
the lap.
right here. You can go back. Okay. I'm sorry. This is Jackson.
You want to go get some cold ice for it?
Yeah, go get, you know where Boo Boo Bunny is? Freezer, grab a Boo Boo. I love it. Life of Ann, right there.
Oh, it's so sweet. It's no problem.
That's our life of Ann. But okay, I don't know where I was. All I know is I love your hex. I'm probably gonna keep that. I'm gonna keep that in. You know why? Because it's real. And
Yeah,
it's real. It's real. I will say, Tiff, just knowing you for these past 3 years, it's so cool to watch you. Like you sold your company.
I just have somebody running it, so I still own. Yeah. Mm-hmm,
okay.
Yeah.
So you have somebody running it. You're doing less.
Yes.
None.
Yeah. I'm working less, but my primary professional pursuit is Life of Ann. So I'm putting my primary energy towards that. But I work way less than I did 7 years ago.
But you scaled that with having a growing family, creating these systems, keynote speaking, podcasting. You really you walk the walk. You know what I'm saying? Like you really do. And I think every woman listening is looking for these, especially if you're a parent. Like, I mean, that's the real stuff right there. Real life stopped, bleeding into work, like you said, in 2020. And there's so many things that we could be doing to fill our cups that are so simple, so easy. And you're here to help women specifically live intentionally and give them what I love about you is how tangible you are, like super tangible. So if you could say anything to the people listening who is struggling and doesn't know where to start, where would you tell them to start? What would you give them for advice if you could give them any last words of wisdom?
Almost always when we're at this place where it's like, I don't know where to start, I can get a woman to say, I feel burnout. And burnout actually has nothing to do with being busy. Mm-hmm. Burnout has everything to do with putting the same effort and feeling no progress. And so when you look back at the last several years and you think, I'm getting up so freaking early, I'm packing every lunch, I'm doing everything I can, I'm squeezing everything into every minute, and I am kind of no better for it. Like I haven't lost that 12 pounds I want to lose. I haven't connected with my mom the way that I want to. I haven't, my marriage isn't where I want it to be. I'm never on time. Like that is what makes us feel burnt out, is that we feel no progress.
Yeah.
And so I would beg of you to say no to one thing that was a good yes in a prior season, but is still not a good yes today. And I would ask you to reallocate those minutes to the thing that you most need to feel progress on to feel like a priority in your life. And it might be a 10-minute walk after dinner. It might be showing up on time to pick your kid up. It might be small, but these little deposits of belief that we put that we're going to show up for ourselves completely is the thing that erases that feeling of burnout. It's not actually about exiting stage left, going to Miraval, getting off the treadmill for 5 days, because you're coming right back to it.
Yep.
It's about feeling progress. And I have an enormous amount of energy for my life because I see progress. And it's not that I'm not busy. It's not that there's not a lot going on. But when the things are chosen intentionally and you know why they're important to where you're going, it totally changes the energy of the day. So, it takes a minute to get there, but that's where you start. Say no to something that you know was a yes or no, yes from a prior season that no longer fits, and you reallocate those minutes. And you do that a little bit every 90 days. You do a little bit more, and you do a little bit more, and you do a little bit more, and you rebuild your life. It's not one big makeover show, because that's not how it works in real life.
And you are literally a walking testament to the walk that you're walking. So I give you so much kudos, because it's true. I mean, you can tell in everything you do, you're so intentional. You show up intentionally. You are giving focus to the priorities in your life that matter. And so many women could just if you take anything from today, take the Tiffany Sauder case study. You are the case study. You are the muse. Okay. So let me ask you this. If people want to find you, if they want to hear about the Life of And program for their team, for themselves, to hear you speak, where the podcast, where do they go? What do they do?
Well, I think the group listening to this show, you are people who are incredible connectors of programs to the women inside of your teams. And so we developed the Life of And program. It's a virtual session that is live streamed. I teach it live every 90 days, approximately. And if you're interested in just learning more about that, there's a form in this show notes. I believe we created that together. And just fill out the contact form and we'll jump on a call and I can go through it. There's lots of information on my website about it as well. But what I found was that the connection of me telling stories starts to open up different kinds of conversations with you and the women who are working with you, and getting the women who are working together as a team connecting on this kind of a level changes the way the culture is formed and developed, and how women start to believe that at different seasons in their life, they can still say yes to their career in different ways. And so, yeah, the way I solved for my time and the way I solved for my priorities when I was 26 are very different than now, my life here at 46. And they should change. We just don't know how to do that alongside our employer. And I think this creates the vocabulary to be able to do that more elegantly.
I do too. And I got to witness that program today, and that was the 90-day program that I got to witness today. It's so tangible. She makes beautiful workbooks. I have another visitor now, Tiff. It's my dog. Big deal. Come on in. We're just going to bring the whole family. But yeah, I really think that the Life of Anne program is so tangible. It's a great community. I could feel the energy just coming through the chat. And I also just applaud you in the work that you're doing. So if anybody is interested in bringing Tiff here for your team, the link is going to be in the show notes that you can reach out to her. Okay. I had so much fun. This was a very abundant conversation in real life, legit in real life. My dog, my child, everyone came forward. You have 4 kids and no one came
Family
by.
members are spawning. Yes.
Oh my God. So thank you for this play date. But this is a very important question. My final question. How are you going to make your workday more playful today?
Well, I think that the way I did my live streams are done at this incredible production facility, and the production and tech team there are just incredible. And I have just decided that they're my friends.
They are.
And so the way that we banter and sort of pick on each other, and it just is like very playful and fun for me. And my team is not very big at Life of And. Intentionally, I've kept it very small. And so that human connection and playfulness gives me a lot of energy. And I think that they can kind of be seen just as like people who poke the buttons. And I think we both feel more human when we leave the interaction. So,
dude, okay. Well, let me just say that I got to see that in real time, and it was playful. It was joyful. It was just fun. And I'm so glad I got to witness it. And I hope everybody here listening checks it out, put it in the show notes. Tiffany, I adore you. This was
very
so
fun, Erin.
abundant, and it's such a fun play date. And I just hope every woman specifically listening to today's show puts one thing into practice. So we'll talk about that and what we call the Playdate practice in just a moment. Tiff, thank you so much for being here.
Erin. Thanks, Erin.
Okay, peeps. I could talk to Tiff forever and a day. So as we wrap, here's what I want to leave you with. In improv, we talk about listening to what is not being said. And the best scene partners don't just hear the words. They hear the silence. They hear the hesitation. They hear the thing underneath the thing. And that's exactly what actually Tiffany is asking leaders to do. Stop listening to the performance and start hearing the person. Tiff, I want to thank you so much for this conversation. It is truly the type of conversations we want to continue to have here on Workday Playdate. So thank you, thank you. Now let's get into the Playdate practice. This week, I want you to think about one woman on your team, not the one who's struggling visibly, the one who seems fine, the one who always delivers. And I want you to ask her a real question. Not how are you, not how are things, something real. Something like, what are you excited about right now outside of work? Or what do you need from me that you've not asked for? And then here's the kicker. Y'all, we got to actually listen, not to fix, not to solve, just to hear her. That is how you protect your scene partner. And that's how you keep your best people. And if Tiffany sparked joy in you, if what she said today made you think about what women at your company are actually carrying, please go check out her program at tiffanySauder.com/program connect. That is the link we'll have in the newsletter. And that is the link we had in the newsletter this summer. And clearly, some of you already found it. And now you know why I was so excited about it. So until next time, keep playing, keep learning, and keep failing forward. I'll see you back here on the Playdate.